Hey guys, it's Mike here, and welcome to another video I'm bringing you today on Dragon Ball Super. In this video, I'm going to be listing off the 5 fights that I want to see, and I guess all of us really want to see in Dragon Ball Super that we haven't gotten a chance to see yet in Dragon Ball Z, or that we really need to see in this series going forward. But before I begin, don't forget to go down below and tell me your own list of the 5 fights you want to see in Dragon Ball Super, and they could be with really anyone in the series. So just go down below, tell me your own thoughts, come right back up here, and let's begin this list with number 5. So for number 5, I have kind of an interesting pick that I don't think I've ever really heard anyone talk about before, but we never really have gotten the chance to see yet, and that would be Goku versus Gohan. Think about it, Goku has fought everyone else in the series up until this point. He's fought Krillin, he's fought Vegeta, he's fought everyone, but has he ever actually fought Gohan, his own son? Have they ever actually had like a real back and forth fight? It was typically either that Gohan would be stronger than Goku or weaker than Goku, but at this point in time, it'd be interesting to see if perhaps Gohan through his training actually becomes much stronger and maybe could be on Goku's level. So I've always really wanted to see the fight between those two kind of, clashing together and seeing who really comes out on top and seeing how their fighting styles kind of mission match. I mean, at the end of the day, it could just be a kind of a sparring match, but it's something that I've always wanted to see, and closest we ever got was in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. But it would be definitely interesting to see, but let's get into number 4. So number 4 on this list definitely has to be one that everyone really wants to see in the series right now, and that would be Wiese versus Vados. After all, these are the 2 most powerful beings in the universes that we have seen thus far, stronger than even Beerus and Champa, the gods of destruction. So it'd be really interesting to see these 2 twin siblings going at one another, especially considering the fact that we think that Vados might actually be stronger than Wiese from what she said. So it'll definitely be interesting to see just how these 2 fight, what kind of powers that they actually have on display, and what kind of destructive capabilities that they would actually be capable of, because when Champa and Beerus fight, they could destroy both of their universes. Imagine if 2 even stronger beings who actually take care of them and could easily beat either of them fight. Now that's something that I definitely want to see in this series, and I feel like a lot of other people want to as well. But let's get into number 3 on this list. And number 3 on this list isn't exactly just one fight, but really any fight. And that would be any fight with Vegeta. After all, ever since we saw Supreme Kai and Kibito defuse, we've been thinking, does that mean that Vegeta is going to come back? Does that mean another Potara fusion is going to happen? So it'd be really interesting to see exactly what would happen if Vegeta came back and who he would fight. Would he have to be strong enough to fight Vados if Vados turned evil, or would he need to fight someone such as, Wiese to increase his overall power and training of the Super Saiyan God, or would he have to fight the evil hit in the newest tournament in Universe 6? It's going to be really interesting to see exactly why those 2 characters defuse, and there's so many different possibilities for fights that we could see with Vegeta, because we only saw him get to fight one character, and not counting Gogeta, who got to fight, Janemba in a canon movie. It'd be really interesting to see just who Vegeta will fight in the series if he even comes back. But with that, let's get into number 2 on this list. Now for number 2 on this list, it's really a fight that kind of obviously needs to be on this list and that we really need to see again in the series. And that would have to be Goku versus Beerus once again. After all, that was the fight that kicked off this series and the new series of Dragon Ball Super in general, the continuation of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. So it's a fight that Goku obviously lost. He didn't even come close to Beerus' ultimate power, and it's a fight that they've been building up the entire series at this point. Goku and Vegeta are training so that they can surpass Beerus and Wiese. So it's a fight that we have to see at this point in the series, sometime maybe after this next arc or even during this arc, that we need to see Goku take on Beerus once again and see if he could actually beat him this time after all these years of training that he has put in so that he could actually fight on the level of the God of Destruction. It'll be really interesting to see Beerus actually go all out, because he's never actually done it before, even though he might have led Goku to kind of think that he did during their fight. So I definitely want to see this happen. I think that we're kind of owed this happening because of the fact that we didn't really have the main hero of our story have a real conclusive victory in that fight. And so if he never gets a victory over Beerus in the entirety of this series, it's going to be kind of odd if it doesn't happen. But of course, that leaves us with just one more fight in the series, and a lot of people might be thinking about it, a lot of people might have already put it at their number one, but let's get into that right now. So the number one fight on this series is kind of obvious, and it's something that really I feel that we need to see once again, and that is Goku versus Vegeta one more time. After all, we've only seen them fight actually twice in the series, not counting their sparring in, say, the hyperbolic time chamber that we're currently seeing. And that is that we saw Goku and Vegeta fight during the Saiyan saga, which Vegeta basically won the fight, and Goku had to have the help of Krillin and Gohan to actually defeat Vegeta. But then we saw them fight in the Majin Buu saga. And, you know, the fact of the matter is that that fight just didn't have a conclusive ending, as I talked about in my other top 5 fights in the series, which you could find down below in the description. And the fact of the matter is that we just didn't end up seeing a real conclusive victory to one of their fights. And the fact of the matter is that Vegeta still kind of holds this against Goku, even after all of these years. As you look in the Kanzenban ending of the original Dragon Ball manga, Akira Toriyama wrote Vegeta at the end to say, "One day I will show you victory," or "One day I will show you defeat Kakarot." And so it just seems like something we have to see. We've only seen 2 iterations of this. Now it's time for the sequel. Now it's time for the trilogy to be complete, so we could actually see once and for all who is better. And of course, a lot of fans are going to say, Goku needs to win. Goku always wins. That is his character. A lot of other people say it's time for Vegeta to get a real victory so that his character can finally come full circle. I might be in the latter of that camp, to be honest, in terms of opinion, but at the end of the day, this is a fight that we really need to see once again. And so I'm definitely looking forward to that happening. But of course, as I said before at the beginning of this list, at the beginning of this video, tell me your own list down below. Do you agree with mine or do you disagree? What would your placement be if you actually like mine, but maybe you want to put it in different order? Or do you have just a completely different list that you want to see? Let me know down below. Also, don't forget to like, comment, share this video with your friends so we can make more videos like this. And of course, as I always say, stick around, because there's a lot more to come in the future.